Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Human Resources Committee to order. It is now 5:34 p.m. on October the 9th, 2018, and we are at Nashua High School North. Ms. Porter, may I have the roll call, please?
Okay, Ms. Timmons?
Here.
Ms. Van Twyver? Here. Mrs. Porter is here. Ms. O'Gara? Here. And we are joined by Mrs. Oden, Mr. Guarino, and Mr. Kaufman.
Okay, thank you. On the agenda, we have two items, administrative recommendation and personnel recommendation dated October the 9th, 2018. We are moving forward with the candidate for assistant principal for Birch Hill. Ms. Michelle, may you come forward, please? And you can have the honor seat over here. Can you ensure that the light is on?
If you tap it.
Okay. On Friday, you received Ms. Michelle's resume, and it's located in your package. But she's here to tell us a little bit about herself. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Christina Michaud. I've been a teacher in Drake, Massachusetts for 19 years. I've taught kindergarten, and I was the lead teacher of my school for the last 6 years. Basically, vice principal duties, but also maintaining a class full-time. I'm really excited to take the next step and join the Birch Hill School.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
I'd like to offer any questions for Ms. Michaud. Yes, Mr. Kaufman?
Thank you. Welcome. So one of the first questions I like to ask is, are you sure you can give up the classroom? If you've been in the classroom that long, it's obvious there's a reason for that. So are you ready for that?
I think I am. I've kind of done both jobs for the last few years. So I've been maintaining a classroom of 19 to 28 kindergarten students,
Okay.
and then helping with administrative duties in my spare time. I've gotten to know all the children in the school, at my school, and I want to do the same at the Birch Hill. I think I'm ready to do that and to leave that piece of the classroom behind, but I'm there to support the teachers in any way I can.
Oh, that's great. I have to ask because I know it's a
Okay.
difficult jump. I know people don't go into administration because they're so connected to the classroom and the children.
It's true.
I have one other question for you. I'm curious, how would you, how do you see parental involvement working in the elementary schools? How would you encourage it or enable it? And
I think it goes hand in hand. It's something that, as a kindergarten teacher, we fully appreciate. We ask parents to come in and volunteer, even if they can come in once a month, just to see how the classroom works and how things move along in the school day. Any way you can get parents in, whether it's meetings at night, if they can't come in during the day because they have to work, if you can email them, whatever technology we have available to make those connections, because most parents do work, so you want to make those connections, but also let them know that they're welcome in the school when they can be around, and that you can make that connection with them.
well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, Ms. Porter?
Welcome. It's
Thank
great
you.
to meet you.
Thank you.
I'm familiar with the master's program at Lesley University, and I'm just wondering if you can talk a little bit about that and how a degree in curriculum is going to help you as an assistant principal.
So I received my degree in curriculum instruction from Lesley, but I did their off-campus program. So I was able to do it on weekends. My first few years teaching, it was a struggle, but I feel like it made me a tougher person. I think curriculum is the basis. There's always two pieces to what we do as educators. There's the curriculum, and then there's that personal piece. So having a basis in curriculum is going to help me with students from grades preschool to grade 5. And then I have that personal piece as well, where you get to know the children and help them out as much as you can.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions? Ms. Oden?
Okay, thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
I see you have done a lot of work with discipline, which the assistant principal usually does.
Correct.
And bus duty. What do you see? It's hard starting in a new school, but the school year has already started.
Right.
And I'm sure it's going to be hard to leave your kindergarten students.
Yes.
But what do you see the biggest challenge coming in after the school year has started?
I think just getting to know everybody. I've already been to visit the school and gotten to meet a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people. I've met some of the children when I went to visit, and they were great kids, very similar to what I'm coming from. So I feel very comfortable moving in there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Ms. Van Twyver? No? If not, I'd like to move to accept Ms. Michelle for Assistant Principal at Birch Hill Elementary School. A salary would be, I always do that, don't I? Okay, a salary would be $77,250 for school year 2018-2019.
Second.
Okay, can I have a roll call, please?
Great. Ms. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Van Twyver?
Yes.
And Mrs. Porter votes yes. Motion passes.
All right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right.
We're working on that. It will be a few weeks once I get everything settled at my past employer, I guess. Sort of. Yeah. Great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, now we're moving forward with the candidate for Assistant Principal of Fairground Middle School. That's Mr. Jeffrey Arbogast. Can you come forward? Hello.
Hello,
You've met everyone, so.
I have.
Yes, you have. Can you tell the committee a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Jeff Arbogast. I've been working in the district now. This is my 19th year teaching at Pennachuck Middle School in science. I've been the curriculum liaison for science at our school for the last 15 years. I've been on various district committees, the Science Steering Committee, the Middle School Steering Committee. I served on the Superintendent Cabinet for a number of years. I've coached in the district a few times. I coached the varsity wrestling team at Nashua North for 8 years. I've coached soccer at the middle school level at Pennachuck, and I was also the first wrestling coach over at Pennachuck through the Boys and Girls Club. I did my master's at RIV, and I did my internship hours with Paul Asbell years ago, who was Principal of the Year in middle school in 2011.
Yeah, you look really familiar. I said, well, I didn't conduct this interview, but you were so familiar.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. I said, okay, now I know why. Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Arbogast? Yes, Mr. Kaufman?
Thank you. I just would like to welcome Mr. Arbogast, and I know Mr. Arbogast. I used to sub for him when I in Pennachuck many times. That 8th grade wing saw me quite a bit, and I got to build rapport with the teachers there. So, thank you. You stepped up for us last year at Pennachuck as in an interim position. And when I first saw you, I thought that was what was today. I didn't realize you were moving schools.
Yep.
So I'm even more pleased that you were able to finally leave the classroom, because I remember we had a conversation once and about you when openings 2 years ago opened up. I approached Mr. Arbogast and asked him if he was interested, because I knew he had the certification. Ms. O'Gara had given me a report of all the people who had the various certifications. So thanks for stepping up. I'm glad you're remaining in the district.
Thank you.
I enjoyed working with you, and I know the kids did too. So
Thanks.
good luck with the transition over to the new school.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Any other questions? Ms. Porter?
I can just say that I was on the interview team, and it was a pleasure to get to know you in a professional way through all of your interviews, and I'm very pleased and happy for you, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Odens?
Hi, I've been on interview teams with you. I know I've seen you in the district for many years. And thank you for stepping up, leaving your classroom and stepping up last year when that was needed, or at the beginning of this year. Thank you so much. And I think the people at Fairgrounds will welcome you and appreciate you. So best of luck and congratulations.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, if not, I'd like to move to accept Mr. Arbogast for Assistant Principal at Fairground Middle School for the 2018-2019 school year at an annual salary of $84,250. May I have a roll call, please?
Okay, well, second. And Ms. Timmons?
Yes.
Ms. Porter votes yes. Ms. Van Twyver?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
He looked really familiar. I was like, wow, I've seen him around. Last but not least, we are moving forward with the candidate for interim assistant principal for Pennachuck Middle School. Ms. Weinman, could you come forward, please? Hello. Hi. Again, I was not on your interview, so it's a pleasure to meet you. So, with having said that, could you tell the board a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. So my name's Laura Weiderman, and I...
Your microphone.
Oh, little button there. There you go. Push.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, that's better.
Great.
Okay, still Laura Weiderman. Rhymes with Spiderman, that's how you can remember it. My career in education came as a second career. I actually worked for the YMCA for 10 years and met my husband actually when he worked here in the Nashua Y. So we kind of have a nice connection coming back. Did 10 years as a guidance counselor in the elementary and middle school schools, and had the opportunity to take on the position or apply for and take on a position of assistant principal in an elementary school. And I did that for 3 years. And when the district was having some financial issues and had to restructure, the position was eliminated. So I've kind of been searching for the right position, right fit for me. I spent a little time looking at different districts, seeing how they operated. I was in a small system, and so I wanted to see how others worked and how they were able to have high achievement with their students. And had a pleasure of doing that, but realized I really wanted to go back into administration. So, so here I am. That's how I landed here.
Great. Do we have any questions from Ms. Weideman? Yes, Mr. Kaufman?
Thank you. In your introduction, you have two things that have piqued my interest I would like to
boy,
ask you
okay.
about. I'll tell you what they both are, so you
Okay.
can kind of go free response,
Okay.
without structure. You mentioned that data-driven, and I'm curious what data, I just want your opinion about that. Maybe you could share with us the types of data you believe should be used or have used and how you've used it. And then the other piece is the social emotional learning. That's a recent buzzword that has surfaced
Sure.
here, and
Sure,
I'm
yeah.
curious what your experience with it
Sure.
has been.
So data-driven is the way I use academic data, behavioral data, attendance data, truancy data, all that kind of data to kind of figure out what's going on with our students. And looking, as you drill into the data, you can find some things that it might be as simple as the bus stop where the students have to be picked up is far away from where the students have to walk to, and that's why they're missing the bus, and that's why they're truant. And so it can be as simple as that, or as complex as, the students aren't accessing the curriculum based on the pacing or something like that. So I use a lot of data, both academic and behavioral. And I like to look at it on a frequent basis, monthly basis. It's more than just grades. I don't want to, I want to see specifics on standards and things like that. So did that answer that about the data? Is that okay?
Yes, I'm trying to get insight. We're in the midst of a strategic planning process.
Sure, okay.
So what I hope is going to happen during that process is that we're going to determine the data we want to use and to drill down so we're really using it.
Sure, sure.
Because at the board level, we don't see that. I'm sure the teachers do it.
Right.
But it really doesn't roll up to us. So
Sure.
I hope when we have those conversations, you'll perhaps step forward and share some of your insights.
Sure, and one of the systems I was in was a very data-driven system, very successful system, and they met every 6 weeks. And they did, every 6 weeks, and they did academic, behavioral, and social emotional data. So it really, and then they created plans, and they used the plans, the data from the plans, to drive what they did next. So it was a very systematic approach to handling data and student achievement. So
Was that a program that they subscribed to? Was it developed
well,
in-house?
it was pretty much developed in-house, and it was driven by the principal, but it was done in all the schools. So it wasn't just that school. It was a district. It wasn't a program. It wasn't a canned program. It was them developing it. But it really did work. Really
Any
did work.
chance we might be able to see?
Sure, I'll be happy to show you some of the.
Oh, that would be
'cause
awesome.
I harvest. I like to harvest. It's the best way to. There's no point reinventing the wheel. So
Well,
let's
we
just
are
harvest what they have.
hunter-gatherers, right?
Yes,
By-
exactly. So
Terrific. And then the other part had to deal with the social
social
emotion.
emotional. Yeah, I think and in a lot of my conversations recently with talking to a lot of different educators, they're saying, there's a lot of things that are happening with students that is stopping them from learning, and it's their ability to regulate their emotions, their ability to concentrate and focus and persevere through problems and kind of maintain themselves in a classroom. And we, as educators, focusing on that and helping them and giving them strategies on how to manage themselves in the classroom makes it so that they can access what the teachers are teaching. So, and it takes a lot of practice. We can't just say to a student, do a calming strategy and expect it just to happen. So encouraging the practicing of it throughout their school years is important, so.
May I just add one last thing?
Yes.
Thank you. So I substituted at Pennachuck for several years.
Okay.
I can tell you the staff over there is very friendly.
Wonderful.
And perhaps one of the most important things that I will always remember about Pennachuck, I never saw a piece of brown lettuce. That salad bar was immaculate. It was always fresh. I had the pizza from time to time. I had salad. I had sandwiches. I have never hesitated to eat in that cafeteria, just to let you know.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's,
We all have our thing, and that's,
that meant a lot to me. That meant I did not have to prepare a lunch running into school every day.
Well,
So-
and coming from an administrative perspective, we want our students to, to have healthy, things that they're doing, and being able to access the food is certainly a big thing, so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to know the
Thank
salad
you.
bar is
Welcome.
good. Woo!
We have any other questions? Ms. Porter? No, Ms.
go
Odom. Okay. I'm sorry, Ms. Van Twyver, I didn't see you. I
That's
saw
all right,
your
I'll
hand
go
up there.
last, because mine's silly, too.
But go ahead, we'd love to hear it.
Well, I know you've been through a lot of questioning and whatever,
Sure.
and you've answered all the pertinent ones that please this district. So I'm going to ask you about Toy Town.
Toy Town.
Is Winchendon really a toy town?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, so
What
they
toys?
they made rocking horses.
Oh, wow.
And when the school system, when they built a middle high school, the school that I was at, Toy Town Elementary, was actually the old high school. And when they built a middle high school and the high school moved away, they had the students decide on what the name of the school was going to be. And so they came up with Toy Town Elementary School.
And did they
So
give everyone a rocking horse?
we did not give everybody a rocking horse, but it was our symbol. It was our symbol, so yes.
Well, thank you. It's another fact I didn't know about.
There you go.
And
yeah.
welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Ms. Odom?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And welcome. I noticed you started off in middle school, and then the rest of your career has been in elementary.
Yep.
How excited are you to go back to middle school?
You know what, I spent last year in a middle school and really, really recognized how much I really do enjoy this level. It's such a transition time for students, and having people who, which I believe I do, being able to support these students as they go through this, and support their parents as well. This is nightmare time, you know, as a parent. And so, and you feel like this person is not the person that you had a year ago, and you don't see light at the end of the tunnel. And so, having gone through it with 3 children and all of their friends, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And so just trying to support parents as well as we go through it.
Thank you. I taught elementary school, and I have enormous respect for middle school teachers. I remember my middle school years. It was junior high back then. I remember it like it was yesterday, the
Yep.
challenges.
Yep.
And any middle school teacher I have spoken to said, I just love it. And I said, I think it's the most difficult level to teach. And they said, you just have to keep a sense of humor. So
It is, and you have, you know, you have such a diverse group. You can have the silliness of some of the students, and then some of the seriousness of others, and it's a nice time for kids. It's a nice time. It's challenging, but it's a nice time. And I too have very, very vivid memories of poor choices that I made in 7th grade. You know.
well, thank you and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Ms. Porter?
And again, I had the pleasure of being on your interview team, and it was great to get to know you, and I'm thrilled that you're here. Welcome, and I wish you a great year.
Thank you so much.
And I too wish you a great year. I have a lot of my neighbors are in the middle school, and I see them playing at the bus stop, and I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah,
So
it can
I
be as
understand
simple
when
as
you.
the bus stop.
Yeah,
It
oh,
can be.
really, they're horrible, and I'm like, okay,
And
but they're sweet at the same time.
a whole day can be derailed because of a bus stop. So,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
I know.
yeah, right. Well, if no one else have any questions, then I would like to move to accept Ms. Weinman for the intern assistant principal at Pennachuck Middle School for the 2018-19 school year at an annual salary of $86,750.
Okay, second.
Okay, roll call.
Okay, Ms. Timmons?
Yes.
Mrs. Porter votes yes. Ms. Van Twyver?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yay. All right. All right, we have one other item on the agenda, and that is the personnel recommendation. Are there any questions regarding the personnel recommendation? Yes, Ms. Odom?
Sorry, I have a question. Are we looking for a new varsity ice hockey coach for North this year, or is that a resignation as they're leaving that position? I know that the coaches have to give a resignation after their season.
No.
No?
Not if they're staying for the following year. If you're resigning,
So that will be an open position?
this would be an open position, yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Any other questions regarding the personnel recommendation? If not, I have a motion to accept the personnel recommendation dated October 9, 2018.
Okay, second.
Okay, roll call.
Okay, Ms. Timmons?
Yes.
Mrs. Porter votes yes. And Ms. Van Twyver?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries.
And that is the last thing on our
Timmons?
agenda for today. Yes.
I have a question to ask Ms. O'Gara.
Okay.
So, hi, Ms. O'Gara. Based upon last week's nominations and the 3 that we did tonight, do we have any openings remaining in the assistant principal area? We had a whole bunch. We asked people to come back and help us. We're grateful for their help, but I just am curious if you have any remaining openings.
Yes, we do. We have one assistant principal opening still open. It's at Fairgrounds Elementary. We have reposted for that position for interim assistant principal because we feel at this point we would want someone in an interim basis for 1 year and do a full search again.
So that's the only one?
Yes, out of the, we have
Out of the 5 that
and
we
we
talked about.
4 have gone through the board now,
Okay.
or the HR committee, and on to the board.
Okay, so the interim for that school is going to stick around for a while?
No, we posted for, the interim in that school is a retired principal who cannot work 5 days a week.
Right.
That is a large school, needs a full-time assistant principal.
But are they able to stay on for a period of time?
Yes.
Okay. So
In the
we'll get our 32 hours.
In the interim to the interim.
Perfect. That's exactly where I was questioning. Thank you very much.
Okay, any other questions? Well, our next Human Resources meeting, committee meeting will be October the 24th, 2018, 5:30, right here, Nashua North. So
Adjourn.
I have a motion on the floor to adjourn.
Okay, and I'll second.
Okay, and roll call?
Okay, Ms. Timmons?
Yes.
Mrs. Porter votes yes, and Ms. Van Twyver?
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes.
Right.
Meeting adjourned at
At
6 o'clock. We'll
6
call it 6 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.